Hey guys, Hook to Clash here, and today I'm going to be recapping some triples from the war between I'm Crying and Dark Unicorns. Yes, we were playing against some of our Tribe Gaming teammates here. As you can see, Exilis also plays for Tribe. We've played with him in Clan War Leagues a lot and got to know him quite well, and you'll actually see one of his attacks later because he comes in with a sick attack as per usual, to be honest. Anyways, we matched in the CML. We've also matched in CWL Esports last season, and we were able to get the dub, so will they get their revenge today? Well, let's go through some of the triples, starting here with Fresh Air, and he's going to be coming in with the Blizzard Lalo, one of the most dominant attack strategies in the game. And as you can see, he freezes the sweeper here. This is something we're seeing more and more because people are thinking that you can stop this attack with just a sweeper, but if people are willing to invest one spell to ensure the blimp makes it, like, you guys have all seen how much the Blizzard dominates bases in this meta. Like, it's worth investing an extra spell to make sure it can happen, honestly. Look at this. The chain off the queen there. Oh, he gets so much of the core. It's not like the most value you've ever seen from it, but it is a decent chunk of the base there. Now, what does Fresh Air do from here? Using the sneaky gobs on the bottom plus a couple of loons to just ensure the funnel is set, and it looks like he's going straight in for the town hall here. He's got the super wall breaker, and I assume he'll use this on like the top or the left hand side, sorry, of the air defense, and that will ensure that the wall breaker opens everything. He's got the Yeti, so he is investing a lot in this Sui, but like, as you've seen with this attack, I'm sure you've all watched it enough, if you get good value from your Sui and from the Blizzard, the bases are wrecked. Like, think of in the past, you would invest a lot in your Sui with just the Zap Lalo, and the Zaps obviously don't get as much as the Blizzard Lalo, but if you still get the same sort of Sui value and also that extra Blizzard Lalo, you don't need a full army, and I'm sure you guys know this enough. You know where the meta is at the moment. You've seen this army just trashing bases, like, not even dominating them. That doesn't like put enough respect to how much they're getting destroyed. Just absolutely trashing them. Now, he has left up a double scatter and an eagle here, but there is no heroes to deal with. He got rid of the RC and the queen at the start of the attack. And also, he's got his own RC with the Lalo. So that makes it, going into this double scatter shot, a little less risky here. And look at this Warden. Bam, gets the RC, gets all of the balloons. Yes, the Scattershot and the King, I'm sure, are doing work, but they can't do any work if the loons are invincible and the RC there. Look at that, though. The RC is still going to lose the fight to the King. That shows how strong the King is. I don't know why he didn't send his Headhunter in. Maybe he was trying to pre-swag at this point. But either way, this base is pretty, well, I say pretty crushed, but it's not like, it's not crushed. No, let's be honest, it's not crushed. But it's, we knew it was a triple, basically. There was no doubt about it. It's just the cannon up. He only ends with a few loons and his Warden, but basically from when he used the Warden ability, it was a foregone conclusion. Nice job there to Fresh Air, showing that it, like, invest as much as you want in your blimp, whether it be spells or, you know, using a hound to tank, and your Sui, because then you have absolutely nothing left to Lalo. And we're into the next attack here. Sorry, I didn't really make it clear, but we are going to cut between all of the attacks so you can't see the end score of the war, so that when we kind of show it at the end, it's a bit of a surprise. Just trying this out yet again. Let me know in the chat if you don't, in the comments if you don't like it. Anyways, we had a bit of trouble with this base here. Couldn't really figure out how we wanted to hit it. We kind of had to hit it with a ground attack because the CML, I think it was, just said we had to hit it with a ground attack, as in there was the number of ground and air attacks, and we'd already done a few air attacks at this stage. So I had a look at the base, and the Eagle artillery here, as you can see, is quite exposed. So we're like, well, if we can ward and walk the Eagle, that's obviously a really good start, especially for those like Pekka, Yeti, Super Witch armies where the Eagle can actually do something. Now, we thought about Super Witches on this, but I actually decided to go in with the Pekkas in the stead, just so it meant that I could bring the sneaky gobs. That helped to funnel not only my Warden, but at the bottom here, you can see an empty building at like 7 o'clock. And that was used to funnel my King. And then we just went in with the Pekkas here. And I don't know, I was just feeling the Pekkas more than the Super Witches for some reason. I can't really put a word on it. So we go in with 6 Pekkas plus 1 eventually that will, well, the one in the Siege Barracks down the bottom there. Now, thankfully, the healers switched quite early here. The Warden wasn't taking a lot of damage. If you kind of want to stop Warden walks for your Eagle like that, like a ground bow just to keep doing damage to your Warden, kind of ensures that the healers don't switch. But we get an awesome healer switch here. Fortunately, the Hogs kind of get tied in, but we Warden ability them all together. We've got the king kind of cruising around the bottom part of the base. He's funneled in yet again to that single inferno. He's going to help it get it with the hogs. And look at all these Pekkas still up in the core. I think there's like 4 of them there, which is just so much firepower. We get the jump down. Now, the single is going to kind of annihilate them, but 4 Pekkas versus only a single and a few other point defenses. Look, the Pekkas, look, they don't like destroy their way through, but they do just enough here. We use 1 freeze to, it stops the skellies, which is honestly the biggest opponent of Pekkas, aside from the single inferno and like heroes. But B, it just stops that single as well. And look, we've only just deployed the RC. The king's doing a great job on the right side. Look how long he stayed up. It shows that, yes, it is always good to use the king early, but if you don't have to use the king early on your funnel and you can just get away with the siege breaks, the king can do fabulous work for you, especially on these sort of open bases that are still obviously the meta here. We pop our RC ability. I actually got kind of lucky in a second. These healers switched to the RC, but I've still got my queen ability at this point, and there's just not enough damage to get her up. Time wasn't really a big issue as well. I think I got this with like 18 seconds left, and that worked out. So is Mass Pekkas OP? I don't think so, but it was kind of new. I hadn't done this sort of thing since Town Hall 12. And Elliot is in here, coming in with a Queen Charge Lalo, sort of the army he's been deferring to for quite a while now, and you'll see why in a second. He uses a Yeti to funnel there, and he uses the wizard so that the Yeti doesn't use as many of its Yeti mites on, I think it was a cannon on the outside, and it means that the Yeti has more Yeti mites at the end for this arch tower. Unfortunately, it doesn't work, because look at that, the scatter just slam dunks them, but it doesn't really matter anyway. The queen's absolutely going the way that, well, he probably thought he wanted to, but then look at that, a bit of disaster earlier in the attack there. Not only does the queen walk into an odd compartment that he definitely didn't want her to, but the super wall breaker doesn't make it. There was a sprung trap on the outside there, so Gabriel coming up with some nice defensive tactics, but Elliot just adjusts and sends it through the wall there. And look, he's got another wall breaker, and you bet this is going for that air bow in the core, and look at what this is going to open now. Queen's doing a good job. He finally uses the king. Yet again, save the king. If you can not use him early, it's so much better. Because look, this king now paired with the RC is going to clear that entire area. Even with the Tesla farm there, I still believe he gets through most of this. He does have to use a freeze here on the single. That Headhunter does a great job on the RC, just keeping it off. He pops the RC ability, and I think he still gets this. Yep, he has to use an invisible spell, but absolutely worth it there. Unfortunately, the Inferno gets onto his healers there, but as you can see, he doesn't panic. He knows it's not going to be enough to take them out, and just doesn't even use the freeze, because he knows he'll need a freeze for the Lalo. And that's the important thing with these charges. You've got to make sure that you leave just a couple of spells for the Lalo, because otherwise, imagine Laloing into that town hall there, which is not that well protected, but will do a lot of damage to your balloons if you don't freeze it. And obviously, you want to save your warden ability till the last possible second. Queen beats through the wall, and look at the value she can get from here. He still hasn't used her ability. There comes the freeze that he was going to need there, that I'm very happy he didn't use earlier on for the healers. Now, he has lost a bunch of healers here, but look, he pops the queen. She gets this multi as well. Like, let's just pause it here. His queen got all of this. His king and RC got that. Aside from the town hall, there is nothing left. This is just the craziest charge I've seen in a while. He gets 2 scatter shots, he gets the CC, he gets every hero, he gets 2 multis as well, deals with the CC. Like, what didn't he deal with? I believe he gets the Grand Warden here as well. Yep. And his minion activates the tornado. I'm sure that tornado was probably there to stop like a blizzard blimp into the core of the base, and was probably a really good spot for it. But unfortunately for Gabriel, his base gets, this is crushed. This is absolutely crushed. This was just an amazing attack here by Elliot. Awesome charge, great execution, excellent plan. Now we're going to show an attack here from Exilis from the Dark Unicorn's side, because this attack was just too good not to watch. You'll see what I mean in a second. So Fresh Air running the kind of the wonky base that he's sort of known for. I really like his builds though. Don't take that from him. And he starts with a Golem and a Yeti. Look, a lot of space invested, but this Golem's going to do so much work here. Look at it, just tanking for the log launcher. I nearly called it a wall wrecker. Tanking for the log launcher here. And look at what the log launchers open. It just opened the entire base. Now, unfortunately, the king goes around. I don't know if that was part of Exilus's plan or not. But the king, not really going to get as much value as he was probably hoping. But look at that. He's got a Pekka. He has a Pekka come out of the log launcher. Unfortunately, the Pekka kind of dies in like 3 seconds. But still, pretty cool. The log launcher doing great work on this style of base. And he's opened up the whole core here. Gets rid of the scatter shot. Gets rid of the enemy queen. Gonna get rid of, well, he got rid of the RC, right? Or is that his own RC? No, I believe that's the enemy RC, right? Yeah, he used his RC at the top. So he gets rid of both air heroes, a scatter and a multi. Now, he did have to invest a lot into this, but like, this is crazy the value he's getting here. He's just taken out a huge proportion of the base, and it's just a different version of the Lalo. Coming in with a wall wrecker kill squad, essentially, is the best way to put it. And then he's got the Ice Hound here. I believe this Ice Hound will freeze the Town Hall, but I don't actually know for sure. I can't remember. It's kind of cool to see if people will start building bases without higher value defenses next to their air defenses because of the Ice Hound, or if they aren't worried about that at all. Unfortunately, the Ice Hound doesn't even pop, so we never get to find out. But look, perfect Warden ability negates so many traps here. Fresh Air was trying to stop this sort of Lalo, but not even he can stop this. Perfect Lalo on the left-hand side uses... Well, look at that. The Ice Hound froze the scatter shot there. So like I said, are we going to see scatter shots distanced away from air defenses now? Because that really allowed his loons over there who didn't have a Warden aura to keep them alive. It allowed them to live. And look how much he has up here. He has 3 freeze spells, an invisibility spell, 2 poisons, 28 million balloons, and plenty of cleanup here. This was just crushed. Like, this was just a sensational attack by Exilus here, making up for not getting a defense. I mean, who can get a defense in this meta, though? Let's be honest. This was just a lovely attack from start to finish. We'll skip through to the end of this, but yeah, look at that swag. Covers so much of the base there. Nice attack there, buddy. And now we can back out. I can show you the end result of the war. When we come out here and we'll look, it's 13-13, but who's going to get the win? Thankfully, we did by, I think that is 11 buildings there. This actually came down to the last attack. We got a defense, and it was a pretty low a reasonable defense on our last hit. So it was a great war. GG's to Dark Unicorns. You guys really played well. Just beaten today. It was a really close one, but wish you all the best in the future. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this quick recap, and hopefully I'll see you soon.